It's Friday. Welcome to Politics Tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Death toll from tanker explosion in Tara Council area of Jigawa State rises to 168 as NEMA provides support to affected families. Tonight, Edo State is our focus as we conduct another post-mortem of the Edo State governorship election. And my guest tonight is Philip Shaibu, the reinstated Edo State Deputy Governor. Welcome to the program, everyone. Stay with us. I'll be right back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now let's begin with some developments in the polity. To party politics now, where the All Progressives Congress in Edo State has launched a fresh probe into the killing of a police inspector, Onuako, who was part of the governor-elect Monday Okpebolo's security detail during the Edo State governorship campaign. This investigation comes a few months after Inspector Ako died during an alleged assassination attempt on Monday Okpebolo at the Benin airport. Addressing journalists at the SARS headquarters in Abuja, Chairman of Edo State chapter of the APC, Jarrett Tenabe, revealed that the party has identified one of the suspects. Mr. Tenabe adds the suspect is currently detained and being questioned by the police.
PDP in Edo State are violent people. If you remember, they refused to sign the peace accord. They have refused to sign anything that has to do with peace. And most of their agents across the state are among those people that kill the police. So what we are saying, the police have been looking for them. They've not been able to track any of them down, but we have been able to track one to their cell here.
Minister of Defense Abubakar Badaru has acknowledged the report of a new terrorist group trying to establish foothold in Sokoto State. The minister, who is on a working visit to Kaduna State, spoke of a new collaborative effort with the Niger Republic to strengthen border security and prevent the movement of terrorists. Details in this report.
The Minister of Defense Abubakar Badaru on a working visit to Kaduna State. He hopes to evaluate the security situation and uplift the morale of stationed troops. At Kashim Ibrahim House, he commends the state's efforts in supporting counterterrorism activities.
The police deployment team that has included is fully sponsored by you. You have been rehabilitating roads so that we have easy access to difficult terrains.
Badaru acknowledges government's awareness of a rising terrorist group in Sokoto and assure that measures are in place to address the threats.
Yes, it's real, but last week you have seen the state Minister of Defense was there to also look at what is happening there, to gather recommendations and see how best we can tackle this. And I think a few weeks ago you have seen our Chief of Defense Staff visit Niger and have meeting with the Nigerian government and to see how we can collaborate and end that movement and tackle the security situation around our borders. And we are working very hard. We are not unaware of what is happening there. And really, we will handle it and we will tackle that security situation. And I believe the new collaboration with Niger in fighting those movements, not only for those terrorists, but also for the movements of arms and ammunition and light weapons.
Governor Obaseki commends the federal government's security initiatives and advocates for increased regional cooperation. He also calls for more military commands under the 1 Division Nigerian Army.
I have been in the forefront of the push for the development of a common strategy and operational plan by northern states to tackle insecurity. Honorable Minister, sir, you may also wish to take a closer look at Operation Safe Haven in Southern General area with a view to determining how it can fit into the present organization.
The minister will proceed to Birnin Gwari and Kachia to finalize plans for the launch of Operation Fansanyama. This move by the Defense Ministry is aimed at addressing insecurity in the northwest and neighboring Niger State. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Kaduna.
The Minister of Education, Tahir Maman, assured teachers of the federal government's dedication to transforming technical education in Nigeria. This was disclosed at the annual sensitization meeting of the Technical Teachers Training Program in Abuja. Meha Mohammed reports.
Nigeria's technical education system has witnessed formidable challenges ranging from poor funding to inadequate facilities, brain drain and poor staff training, among others. The sensitization program will help to equip educators for technical expertise and transformation. Minister of Education Tahir Maman emphasized the pivotal role technical teachers play in shaping Nigeria's socio-economic future.
Time has come for us to review our education system holistically for them to be relevant to the society. For parents to see the value of taking their children to school.
The minister also calls for collective actions to equip teachers with necessary tools.
That funds, especially tertiary education, third form, to rechannel resources from this year to equipping our schools.
Other stakeholders present want the ministry and education sector to focus on integrating digital tools and INTERSOP teaching methods.
To reaffirm our commitment to enhancing the quality of technical education in public secondary schools and technical colleges, where we embark on transformative journey to revolutionize technical education in our public secondary schools.
We are living in an era of rapid technological advancements, and the role of technical education has never been more crucial in shaping the workforce of tomorrow. The 21st century teacher is no longer an instructor but a guide, a mentor, and an innovator.
The group hopes that these policies reforms will shape the workforce in the education sector and empower the next generation of Nigeria's innovators. Mariam Mohammed, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's take a short break, and when we return, Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu joins me on the program. Please stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Last night, I had a conversation with Houseway Godalu, PDP governorship candidate in the just concluded Edo governorship election, where he leveled several allegations against the All Progressives Congress in the state. So tonight, we continue our post-mortem of the Edo governorship election as Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu joins me on the program to address some of the issues raised by the PDP as well as other matters. Your Excellency, good evening to you. Thank you so much for coming on Politics Tonight. Welcome to the program. You may need to unmute your device. Can you hear me now, sir? Deputy Governor, can you hear me? All right, let's take a break and I'll be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Sometimes it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
School, I need students, but I need teachers.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything. If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet, sour taste for all their demands. A familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Committee forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development, as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Events for the month of October 2024. 1st of October is Nigeria's 64th Independence Day. On the 5th of October is the World Teachers Day. On the 6th of October is the World Cerebral Palsy Day. On the 10th of October, the world celebrates Mental Health Day and the World Sight Day. On the 11th of October is the International Day of the Girl Child. On the 15th of October is the Global Hand Washing Day. On the 16th of October is the World Food Day. On the 17th of October is the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. On the 24th of October to the 31st of October is the Global Media and Information Literacy Week. Stay tuned to TVC News for this reports and analysis.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas.
Welcome back, everyone. Tonight, we continue our post-mortem of the Edo State governorship election. And Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu is on the program with me tonight. Your Excellency, good evening to you. Thank you so much for coming on Politics Tonight. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Jimuke. Thank you very much.
All right, so first, congratulations to your party. I mean, how does it feel being part of the winning team? You had an entire episode tied to you. You were a factor.
Yes.
We saw the rocky relationship between yourself and the governor. Your defection back to the APC. Many doubted your loyalty, but your activeness during the campaign countered the perception. And you also made history as the individual who delivered the highest votes to APC from a polling unit with over 1,000 votes. So how does it feel? Do you feel vindicated?
Yeah, Jiboke, thank you for having me once again. I actually feel vindicated, and I give glory to God for making me the number one in the unit, number one in the ward, and number one in the state, because I won from my unit, from my ward and local government and the state. So I really feel vindicated, and I thank God for it. And I thank not just Edo people, I thank Nigerians for being with me, praying for me, for all the ordeals that I went through. And I also thank God for showing me that it was finished, Ofune, and God has made it possible for what we are. And I'm so excited and happy for the victory. And I thank God that He's God, and He has shown that He's God.
So what exactly was the game changer for the APC? And is there so much to learn from that election?
Yes, a lot of things to learn. Leadership, a lot of to learn about how a leader behaves. The governor of Edo State could not provide leadership, and the PDP at the center could not provide leadership. And because of that, 10 of us that have contested this primaries in PDP, 9 of us left. 9 of us are together against one person. Whereas in APC, there was leadership. All of them that contested against each other were united at the end. Even with their anger, they were able to unite them to work for one person. That is leadership. Whereas in PDP, from Abuja to Edo, in fact, Edo was worse, because when you see a governor telling you, do you know I'm the governor? Do you know I'm the leader? That shows he has lost control. And one of the things that made PDP lose in Edo State was impunity, wickedness. A man will tell you, I will destroy you. You want to destroy a human being that you didn't make? The governor told me, Philip Shaibu, that if I contest for governorship of Edo State, he will destroy me. And I like, you destroy me. Whereas I was one of those that make you governor. Because you are not governor and deputy, and I give you the right to feel you can destroy me. And I went on my knees, and I went to the Blessed Sacrament. And I said, God, if you created me in your image and likeness, then it's only you that can destroy me. Turn this thing, the table around, and show Obaseki that you are God. And that was what has happened.
But Deputy Governor, when you say the governor could not provide leadership, did you mean that the deal of Obaseki and Philip Shaibu could not provide leadership because it was a joint ticket until the relationship went south?
Yes, it's not. It's a joint ticket. It's a joint ticket. But when one of the tickets decided that it became a private entity, and he now wants to destroy the other person that they are supposed to coexist, then what do you expect? You see, a leader, Comrade Adan Shomole, though we had our own disagreement when in 2020 when he said it was not going to be Obaseki. But for him, Obaseki, to be governor in 2016, it took Comrade Adan Shomole to provide leadership by appealing, begging, convincing us to support him as a candidate. For me, it took Comrade Adan Shomole almost 3 months to convince me why I must support Obaseki. That is persuasion, mobilizing people for a purpose. Well, Obaseki in the other way said, this is what I want. If you don't go, I will destroy you.
Okay.
And he ended up fighting everyone. And that's why he could not provide leadership.
All right.
And I asked myself at the time, I said, do you really want Aswe to win? Somebody told me, actually, it was a game for him to take Aswe out of the private sector so that when he returned back, he can occupy the space. Okay. And the way the election has actually gone, it shows that.
We'll come back to that. But how much influence did the manner in which APC managed the aftermath of the primaries play here? Because at a point, the unity of the party was in doubt. And I'm asking that question because in the build-up to the election, the party was factionalized. You know, members of the integrity group insisted they would not vote for Senator Pueblo. Also, you said a lot of persons were not happy with Governor Obaseki. Was his issue with the Oba of Benin a deciding factor? Did he work in your favor? You know, I know the monarch need not publicly endorse anyone, but his body language was all the people needed.
See, me, I am Oba's son. Anybody that fights Oba fights me. And that is how an average Benin, an average Edo person thinks and feels. You cannot fight an Oba of Benin. There are two kingdoms in the whole world. Benin Kingdom and United Kingdom. You cannot fight the Oba of Benin and think it will not have a negative effect. Obviously, the Oba of Benin issue also have a negative effect on whoever Obaseki brings. It was no longer about party. It's whoever Obaseki brings cannot win the election. And so the Oba of Benin factor was there. And you can imagine Obaseki trumping up fake charges against me, saying he was impeaching me for, in quote, revealing official secret, which does not make any sense. Till tomorrow, I'm asking even the House of Assembly, I'm asking the Obaseki, what was this government secret? They couldn't even define the secrets they say I revealed. They just said revealing government secret. Why is the secret is not defined? Just to actualize the statement of destroy me. He used the word, I will destroy you. But unfortunately, I want to thank the judiciary. I have cause to thank the judiciary, but they don't have cause to even praise judiciary or make any positive statement about judiciary. You know why? Because they don't believe in judiciary. They don't. The governor of Edo State, the godfather of Aswe Ogudalo, does not obey court orders, does not obey court judgment. There are many lands that he took from people, and court has reinstated those lands. He refused to obey court.
Because judgment. I know that Aswe Ogudalo told me yesterday, Deputy Governor, because I know Aswe Ogudalo told me yesterday that he has absolute confidence in the judiciary.
My sister, all these are games. Hello?
I can hear you. Please go on.
Yeah, my sister, all these are games.
Okay.
You know, they know their supporters and politics is fluid. Many of them are already living. Most of them are living. They are calling me. if I can turn this camera, if you look at my backyard now, it's full of many of the PDP people that want to leave. Some of them are on the fence, they want to leave. So the statement he made is just to keep their people together. He knows that he cannot win in the court. My sister Jumoke, when I heard his voice, when I heard him lamenting that they cheated him, they rigged, and he said the Esako area, the votes, I forwarded my unit's collation. I forwarded my unit's, the counting of my unit, and the video of when they were counting my vote in my unit, the video, everything, because most of your cameramen, my unit was a flashpoint. So a lot of your media people were there 80% of the day. So they videoed my unit. So I had the video. I forwarded the video to Aswa Igudalo. I forwarded the video when the voting was on, when they started counting, when they announced it, I forwarded it to Igudalo that stop ranting. This is actual thing that happened. I forwarded it to Ogedalo. I forwarded it to the governor. So it's to show them, and the result, I forwarded it to them to tell them to stop talking. He's talking about being confident in judiciary. Judiciary they don't believe in. He doesn't believe in judiciary. And as I said, he has spent 40 years as a lawyer. Has he ever gone to court? As a 40 years experience without going to court. So it's all game. You see, this is what they did in the private sector that is creating problem for Nigeria now. Everybody blame government, and Tinubu is there, that is that. Let me tell you, when you have Aswe and Obaseki in the private sector, I can tell you that it will be difficult to even change the narrative, because the private sector is supposed to be driver of our economy with government good policies. But when you have people like that when they tell you 10 things, 9 are all false, then how will the economy change? So the attention now should not just be on government. The attention should be how much of their expertise have they contributed to changing the economy of Nigeria. Because when I worked with Obaseki for 7 years and I saw the gap, and I was telling myself, I said, if Oshomole have known that this is the gap that this man had, there's no way he will have presented it to us in 2016, because Shomole was confident that he was coming to change the economy of the day, because he, in quote, he has 32 years working experience, which I believe in also then. But when I worked with him, I saw the gaps. Jumoke, when I left House of Rep to be deputy governor, I didn't have one gray hair. Working with Obaseki, see my hair now, they're all gray, because I was filling in the gap. Obaseki lacked public sector administration sense. Obaseki lacks human relation. And Obaseki does not have empathy. He's wicked. So when you have people like that in a system called private sector, every advice that they will give to those in government, expect that they will be negative. It's all about their pockets. So that, and unfortunately, Aswe was in the sovereign wealth fund, I was told. How can an Aswe advise Buhari, and the advice will yield to the development of our economy? So I think when we talk about government now, we also need to look inward, look into the players in the private sector to see what is their contribution to our economy. Because the Aswe and the Obaseki of our time, if they will have enough of them if we have much of them in the private sector, I beg, there will be a problem in our economy going forward. So we need to start filtering them out, so that when we have a government policy that is towards developing our area, the private sector will follow it through. Because let me tell you, Jumoke, government have no business in business, but government have business in enabling environment. So, but when you have good players in the economy, in the private sector to drive our economy, then all this action we are talking about will be a thing of the past. It's because we have the likes of Aswa and Obaseki in the private sector, we are still having this problem.
All right.
I listened to the World Bank.
Shaibu,
I listened to the World Bank.
I
listened to the World Bank man telling us that it will take us 15 years to get out of the present predicament. That was orchestrated and planned not by Tinubu but by previous administration. But for us to even get to that 15 years and to actualize it, we will need the private sector, genuine private sector that will tell you 10 things, 9 is the truth. Look at yesterday. He's telling you he has 40 years experience, but he has never been caught. He's telling you that he fought for this democracy And I asked myself, when we were fighting for this democracy, I was on the street, we were hearing tear gas, I was arrested. Where was he? He was never one of us.
So,
maybe in the
Deputy Governor of Shaibu, because you've gone there, so let's now talk about these allegations. So did your party try to stall the order given by a court for the PDP to inspect election materials at the office of the INEC, as alleged by Mr. Aso Godalu?
See, PDP started the protest. They went to INEC office. They spent 4 days in INEC office. The first 4 days they occupied INEC office. And it was when my party, through the state chairman, heard that the next day they were going into INEC office to change what was there. And I told them, hold on, I need to check. I'm the deputy governor, and I put my own machinery in place to check what was the true thing. And I discovered the true situation was that the next day they were going to invade the INEC office to destroy sensitive materials. And our people had to also go there. We will beat them to the game. We went there as early as 4 a.m. They normally come around 7. We went there as early as 4 a.m. to prevent them from destroying INEC materials. So when they could not have access to INEC to be able to destroy those things, they started raising propaganda. Jumoke, they are out. They are not only down, they are out. Elections were not only free and fair. There was no gunshot. There was no single incident. For the first time, beavers walked. In the entire donut, only 2 units, we have issue of beavers, and it was corrected immediately.
But some CSOs, Deputy Governor, but some CSOs have claimed that that election failed integrity test.
Jumoke, you know there are CSOs, there are CSOs. There are some that Ghana must go. There are some that actually have integrity. What was unanimously agreed was the election was peaceful, orderly. Jumoke, did you see Nigerian police? If you were in Edo State, I was particularly proud of Nigerian police for the first time. I'm one of those that have criticized Nigeria. For the first time, I was particularly proud of Nigerian police. Their outfit, their composure, their professionalism. The problem they have, the PDP had, was that the governor, I raised an alarm. The governor wanted to use Edo vigilante to rig the election, and they were going to cause mayhem. Immediately, the IG made that pronouncement suspending them. That is why you had the peaceful election that we had in Edo State. And I want to salute the IG for it. I want to commend Nigerian police, and they should keep it up. Their outfits, clean, gadgets, well, you know, for the first time, I was proud that at least Nigerian police is not they occupy all the space, and there was no incident. So, Aswe was not going to win the election. Oshomole said he was not elected. But the truth is that Aswe have never voted. A man that have never voted in his life want to be voted for. Nobody know him. The vote that PDP got was as a result of, in quote, he said he didn't buy vote. Vote buying. I know how much of a
let's take these issues one after another. Let's take these issues one after another, because he has accused the APC of colluding with the Nigeria Police Force and some compromised officials of INEC to manipulate the election results. It says your party rigged that election from the local government level. He told me that APC agents were allowed in and out of INEC office and collation centers, but himself, his running mate, and his agents were not allowed into the collation center. He used the word capture. It says your party, the APC, captured INEC and the police. So I'm wondering, how did that happen? Because these are serious allegations that must be investigated.
Jumoke, you see, when we did the primaries in PDP, it took the vigilantes to come and be shooting in my house. My official house was raided by vigilantes shooting. And they rigged the election, in quote, for him to be the candidate of APC. It was democracy. Our democracy was sweet.
Deputy Governor, that's your opinion. You do not have any proof to that effect.
The videos were there. Your station even showed it that time. But the truth is that there was no rigging. And when I say there was no rigging, I send my pictures of my unit to him and my results to him. I send my collations to him in my ward. I sent the collation of Esako West to him. There was no rigging. And you see, when I heard him speak like that the first time, I forwarded everything to him. When you see him again, ask him if I did forwarded all those videos to him. And I did, because I wanted him, because he was acting out of ignorance, I wanted him to have the true picture. And that's why I sent those pictures. So,
Your Excellency, you just
never
said
collided.
There was no
APC
rigging.
never collided. APC never collided with police.
Okay, you just said there was no rigging. Are you saying that your party did not...
In my unit, in my ward, in my local government, there was no rigging. And I asked all other agents and all other people in the other area, the same thing they told me. Okay. So, and if he's already challenging my own area, it shows that it's just... See, let me tell you, I'm in government. They had two situation rooms. To tell you how confused they became. They have two situation rooms. They have the one by Red Wire. They have the one by one other guy. And one of the situation room shows the election, that the result of that was declared by INEC. The second situation room showed the result that they already prepared. I'm in government and I can tell you that. They had two situation rooms. One shows INEC, the other one showed the other. They had one guy, I won't disclose his name on air, that promised them was going to hack into INEC IREP. I'm sure they gave them money because they became very desperate, believing the guy can hack into IREP. And before the result were declared, we're seeing 2020 election in various platforms. And that was the result that was in the second situation room.
All right, Deputy Governor, you just said there was no rigging in your polling unit, but you cannot vouch for...
And what?
But you cannot vouch wards and local governments. You cannot vouch for other wards, other local governments. And I'm saying this because...
I can vouch because we had a meeting and the same thing that happened in my area was confirmed. But I must speak authoritatively about where I come from.
You know, you've said on different platforms that... you made Obaseki governor. You said it tonight, that you made Obaseki governor. Yeah. You said he was never a politician and that he's a packaged governor. Could this be the reason Asue Godalo is insisting that the election was rigged? Because he's aware of the inside workings of how you all package yourselves to Sadebe House. Is that the magic you all perform?
Jumoke. Obaseki was packaged, but unfortunately, the way Oshomole make us to package Obaseki, Obaseki didn't have the skill to package Asue the same way. So it became a contraband. Like one of their leader, who is my friend and my leader too, Senator Zamere will say, Asue became a Zimbabwe dollar in the politics of Edo State. So the truth is that Obaseki has not even learned the rope of what politics is, and he wanted to be godfather. And he told us that if he becomes a godfather by any means, he should be dealt with. He has been dealt with, and that is it. That's why, unfortunately, God's son, I pity him. And I saw him yesterday. Oh, God. I saw him yesterday. It was very painful. But he didn't go. It was packaged by the wrong person. And if the right person had packaged him, the person will not be fighting over. Any person that wants to package a government in Edo State will not be fighting over.
Deputy Governor, you're not answering my question, sir. So my question is, does packaging mean rigging in local parlance or in political terms? Because you've used the word package different times and on different platforms.
No.
Okay.
No. So when I mean package, Obaseki, Oshomole told us that because, which is true then, that we are going to go into a recession. And we needed an economist, somebody that understands economy. And that was the reason he was looking towards Obaseki. And he told her one or two advice that he gave to him. And he told her it was World Bank that, World Bank this, which we have discovered, it was all packaged. It was not correct. You understand? But because he told us that, and we're actually seeing that the economy was running down and we were going to a recession. So all those statements of World Bank experience 32 years in private sector, they even told us that it was Obaseki that started new generation banks in Nigeria. So all those statements, we saw it as, okay, so we used that to package Obaseki. But unfortunately for Obaseki, bringing an Aswe thinking it would be continuation of his business partner, he was not able to sell Aswe to us. Instead, he came and be fighting us, saying he will destroy Philip Shaibu, he will destroy the kingdom that his ancestors never know how it came about. So, so at that level, we were sure that Edo will not be a business arena for Obaseki and his godson. And so the packaging I meant was that we told the whole world, we sold Obaseki that he was bringing his 32 years private sector experience into play, and that he was an experienced person in World Bank. So there are a lot of things we said about him that we found later that they were not correct. So unfortunately for Obaseki, he was not able to also package his godson as well, same way. So it's not about rigging. Rigging, we never rigged Obaseki in 2016. We didn't. If you check the results of this election, it was similar to 2016. Check these results. All the results, it was similar to 2016. Edo North made Obaseki governor in 2016. The same thing has happened in 2024 with Okpeholo. Same.
All right. Deputy Governor, you know the timelines associated with illegal, election petitions and the legal process in Nigeria are designed to ensure that disputes are addressed promptly, transparency is maintained, and justice is served in a timely manner, which is about 6 months or thereabouts. Aswe Godalo has expressed confidence in the judiciary, but how prepared is your party for this marathon, especially because it has every tendency to distract the governor-elect?
If anybody believes in judiciary, it's APC and Philip Shaibu. We believe in judiciary. They don't believe in judiciary. They believe in judiciary to obey court orders, they obey court judgments. They don't believe in it. So they cannot sermonize about judiciary. I, Philip Shaibu, is grateful to judiciary. Oshomole is grateful to judiciary. APC, grateful to judiciary because judiciary have shown that it's the last hope of the common man. Obaseki wanted to destroy Philip. Within 2 months and 10 days, the justice system overturned Obaseki's evil act and reinstated me as deputy governor. That's never happened. So if anybody will praise the judiciary, it is we that will praise the judiciary, not them that will not obey judiciary. Somebody that do not obey court order, how can he be praising judiciary? So I am confident, first, I am confident that what happened in Edo State is true reflection of what happened on the field. And we have no doubt that we will not only we have not only just gotten victory from the poll, we will also get the judiciary to affirm what happened at the election. And what happened at the election obviously showed that Okpeholo won the election in all the polling units. How can you explain, if we have rigged the election, how can the deputy governor of Okpeholo, Dennis Idausa, lose his local government, lose his federal constraint? He is presently representing
Your Excellency, there's a way politicians
federal
do
constituency. No, how can he be representing a federal constituency and he lost the two local government that make up his federal constituency? How does it happen? Will it happen? There's no way we'll have lost his local government, but it shows that there was transparency and there was the election was not only fair but was credible.
All right. Your Excellency, let's take a break, and when we return, we will continue this conversation. Stay with us, everyone.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day, time doesn't just tick away. It's a countdown to political decisions that shape our world.
This country must move.
Imagine the impact these decisions have on our lives. Some are consequential, others may leave us intrigued or baffled.
You will have no better friend and partner than Nigeria.
Step in and feel the frenzy like never before. Join me every weekday for an hour of fact-finding interviews where questions cut to the core.
Welcome back to Politics Tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us. Edo State Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu is still on the program with us as we analyze the just concluded Edo governorship election and as he addresses some of the allegations raised against his party. Your Excellency, thank you so much for staying with us on the program. So
Thank you
let's
for
move on
having
with
me.
this
Thank
conversation. You have established tonight that your party did not rig that election. But who bought more votes? Your party, the PDP, or the Labour Party? Or let me rephrase that question, because Mr. Igodalo says his party did not engage in vote buying. Rather, it was your party that bought votes. Meanwhile, Olumide Akwata says the APC and the PDP bought votes. So how much did your party pay each voter in return for their votes?
Jumoke, yeah, I swear lied again. Yeah, you know, I told the world that we had 10 meetings when we were voting PDP before the primaries. And out of that 10 meetings, 9 were all lies, I discovered. Even the one I thought was true, later I discovered that half of it were all lies. 9.5 of the 10 meetings, lies. So he has lied again that he didn't buy vote. I sent him, maybe I will have forwarded the same thing to you, and your crew were there. I don't buy vote in my area, and because I am grassrooted. I take care of my people. I'm there anytime they need me. So when election come, they want to pay back. They want to do wherever I move, that's where they move to. So
perhaps your party bought the votes before the election day.
No, instead they did. They were before the election. They were taking names of people, collecting their bank accounts. So they transferred money to them. I'm in government. Whatever I'm saying.
Who transferred money, Your Excellency?
They transferred those money through, I won't call their names, but it was coordinated from the office of the then SSG, Osarode.
So you're talking about the PDP now?
I didn't want to call name. You are making me call name now.
No, you have to call name. This is a live program. Are you saying the PDP? Because I was going to ask you, you accused Governor Obaseki of bringing 75 million naira to your ward with intention to buy the votes of the electorate. Do you have proof?
Yes, that was the first tranche. Yes, that was the first tranche.
Okay, there was a second time.
Yeah, there was another 15 million given to one of my boy, and he told me, and I said collect it, and he collected it.
But how much did your own party pay?
That 15 million came from Osarado again, 2 days to the election. So when you add that 15 million to, if he's watching this program now, he wonders, he knows who he gave the 15 million to from my ward. He gave him 15 million 2 days to the election, added to that 75 million, you know. So those were the ones that I have. There are other ones. But the truth is that we actually used that money to do party after the election. Yeah, because as they were collecting it, they were telling me, and I'll say collect. So they actually collected. And you see, after the election, we had party. And those money,
but Your Excellency, let me come in here. When you asked your boys to collect that money, do you know that you're aiding and abetting vote trading?
No. We said in 2006, when we were rescuing Edo State, when one came to rescue Edo State, we said that when they bring money, collect it, it's your money, and vote them out. So when Obaseki started using the money again, I told them it's their money, collect it and vote them out. And they collected the money and voted them out. When somebody gives you money to do something and do it, that is when there's an issue. Before the election, I knew they were going to spend money. And I told them, if you tell Nigerians now the way their hunger is in the land, if you tell them not to take, they will take and now go and do. So when I knew that Obaseki was going to spend money, I said, if they bring money, collect it, but vote them out. So when I told them that, that's why I'm able to get facts that they actually brought money. And when they brought it, collect and vote them out. And we collected and voted them out.
Okay. You've talked about the PDP, but your own party, because Olumide Akwata attested to the fact that both parties bought votes. So how much did your party pay the voters? How many bags of rice did you give them? How many kegs of groundnut oil did you give them ahead of the election or during the election?
No, I was able to give rice. I gave rice that were palliative. We gave rice that were palliative before election. When federal government sent rice to us, Obaseki hid them. We later got rice from our senators, our House of Rep, and I also bought some, which we gave as palliative before election. So it was an election day, there was nothing. But we gave palliative to ease the burden of our people. That one we did before, long before election, and it was done nationwide. It was not only in Edo State because of election, no. But for money, can't be out. But for Edo State government, I know that we, through Obaseki, Aswa Godaro, Osarodo Ege, and one permanent secretary in road and bridges, Nabulele, we were asking contractors, we were paying contractors a week to return, we were paying contractors money and telling them to bring 20%, 30% of that money is meant for election. That was the money they used for buying for votes.
Okay, all right.
So if Aswa is saying, and Aswa also, it's statement of fact. The local government council, my own local government, I know how much they took from the local government directly. Before they will pay the money to, they'll pay them, they'll say, pay to social account. But the last allocation, they deducted from source for the purpose of election in the name of security. That was the money that was spent. So I'm speaking authoritatively. Today I had a press conference and I've dropped a document before EFCC to investigate. So I'm not making statement, allegation to just demonize anybody. No, this is a statement of fact. So when I was speaking yesterday, I'm like, you that collected money from contractors to do election, and you are saying you didn't buy votes? No, they did. They did.
Because, you know, the governor has now cautioned the governor-elect, Senator Monday Okwebolo, to detach himself from godfathers and put on the decorum that is expected to govern the state. He says if he must succeed as governor, he must break away from you all. And some Nigerians have interpreted that to mean he succeeded as governor because he detached from the Oshomoles of this world, Yamu, and those who looked like godfathers to him, everyone who packaged him. You served as his deputy governor just before the relationship turned sour. Would you confidently say the duo of Governor Obaseki and Philip Shaibu moved Edo State forward?
In some sectors, in some sectors we're able to deal with certain things. Like in the revenue area, we're able to deal with the revenue issue and raise our revenue. In sports, we turned, Edo State became the hub and the center of sports. We dealt with it. In immunization, we're able to deal with it. Lassa fever surge, we're able to turn it around. Edo State became a template for even the health ministry to now change the immunization system policy to now have immunization on that roof. These were sectors that were coordinated by me. These were sectors that were coordinated by me. And we did well in some sectors, but when it comes to road infrastructure, I can bet you we did not do well at all in road infrastructure, because most of the road we constructed after 2-3 weeks, they are already failing. Look at the one in front of my house. We spent 800 million, as I was told, to do this road. After first rain, it washes off. So we were able to do certain things in certain area. COVID-19, Edo State was a template. Edo Best were able to deal with Edo Best before politics entered and destroyed Edo Best. So COVID-19, Edo was also a reference point. So it's not all bad because of politics, but I can convince you and tell you that when it comes to human management in Edo State, Governor Obaseki failed. Total failure, F9. And he's just because of his nature, he knows how to destroy. And every word that comes from his mouth is destruction, destruction, destruction.
So that leads me to my next question.
He has destroyed himself politically.
Your Excellency, that leads me to my next question, because this is my first time of interacting with you, and this is your first time of coming on politics tonight. So let's talk about your experience as deputy governor, especially when the relationship started getting sour. Because I will never understand why, you know, the office of the deputy governor created by the Constitution is quite subordinate to the office of the governor. And if we're to put Obaseki versus Shaibu's matter into consideration, when the crisis started freshly, we saw how you were treated. Does that represent an office created by the Constitution? And what must change? Is it healthy for us to continue this slave-master relationship as seen in some states?
Thank you for that question, Jumoke. You see, many people, some persons call me and say, when this thing was starting, when it started, they said, option, resign or continue. And I asked my own inner cabinet, I said, do I resign or continue? Some of them say resign, some say continue. And I asked my own comrades, I said, do I resign or continue? And they said, we are in politics to deal with the whole issue of institutional reform. And if we must do that, the office of the governor is an institution. The office of the deputy governor is an institution. If you have to sacrifice you to fight for the integrity and sanctity of the office of the deputy governor, you must make yourself available. We have always known you to be a man of your words. We have always known you you are part of the people that made this democracy. And that was why I didn't resign, and I was ready to face it head on. In going forward, Jumoke, I propose that the office of the governor remain respected, the office of the deputy governor remain respected, but there must be an amendment to the office of the deputy governor. There must be an amendment. The office of the deputy governor must not be subservient to the extent where his security aids, his office, his security vote, things must be taken away.
Your Excellency, because of
from
time,
the office of the governor.
We're out of time, but in 30 seconds, your tenure expires anytime soon. Any regrets, and what do you think you may have done better? In 30 seconds, sir.
Yes, I have no regret. I'm so happy and excited to have had that experience in the executive arm. I never thought of going into the executive arm. My experience, what I wanted in life was to be in the legislative arm where I can represent the people. But my coming into the executive have actually exposed me and given me more experience. And I'm happy. Even the challenges that I went through were all part of experience for me. And I'm happy about that.
All right. Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu, thank you so much for joining us on Politics Tonight. And I look forward to more conversations with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
having a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at midnight. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone.